Rachel, welcome back to my channel. We're going to be discussing the next topic today, which is what happened before the flood and after the flood. How could we apply this in our day-to-day lives today? Before we go on into the next topic, please make sure to like and subscribe, leave a comment down below, and turn on the bell for post notifications. I really appreciate all the people watching my videos, and it's leaving a great impact. This week's portion of the Torah reading, it's discussing the flood, the famous Noach's Ark, and the flood. Let's give a little bit of what happened prior to the flood. Although mankind no longer lived in Gan Eden, their lifestyle and their way of living still resembled that of Gan Eden. Life was too good. These are a few examples. Children were conceived, born on the same day. They were able to walk and talk and stand. No child died during their parents' lifetime. Another point, physical strength within age deteriorates. In those days, physical strength, the more you got older, the more the physical strength grew. They lived hundreds and hundreds of years. There was no suffering due to climate changes and seasonal change. They planted once every 40 years for food. There was no change in seasons. It was the same weather all year round. In addition to all this goodness that they had, they committed sins as well of idolatry, adultery, murder, and robbery. They completely cast off God's authority. They said, we're living our best life. We're getting to do whatever we want. What do we need him for? We have all of our needs fulfilled. God responded, it is the very goodness that I give to you that you use that and take that and rebel against me? God could have spared this generation of any punishment if they haven't been taught not to commit the crimes that they have committed. But they were taught 6 commandments from Adam, do not commit. They were punished because they chose to ignore God's commandments. God told Noach to build his ark, and this ark to build took 120 years to build. During these 120 years, Noach was trying to persuade the generation to return to God, but they laughed him off with their strength and their abilities and their capabilities and what they had. They're like, Therefore, the flood occurred. God saw he had no other choice. They are literally not listening, and therefore the flood occurred. After the flood, to prevent the wickedness from reoccurring once again, God now changed the living conditions of mankind, causing life to become more troublesome and difficult. All this would change so that people would be turning to their Creator for assistance. There would be death of children passing during their parents' lifetime. There would be sickness due to seasonal changes. They would have to plant every single year. Also, whoever commits murder will be punished accordingly. How to apply this in our day-to-day lives today? If only people would recognize what God gives to them every single day. If only people would obey his wishes. We must acknowledge and appreciate all that we are being given by God every single day. If it's wealth, if it's health, if it's life, we get so caught up. It's such a habitual routine in our physical needs and the world nonsense that we forget about our Creator. Does anyone ever think about to thank God, I have a husband, I have a wife, I have children, steady income, steady, stable family life. Life itself. Everyone, thank God, is healthy. The atmosphere is normal. Anyone? We are so trained into we have whatever we have that we don't even take a minute to thank God for it. Or you have other kinds of people who are overly spoiled. And those kinds of people want only more and more and more and more and will never be satisfied. In Hasidic philosophy, it speaks about just the fact that certain people wanting needs. It's not even the needs that they want because they will never be satisfied. It's just the need to need. I want constantly. And it's literally driving them insane. Where is the appreciation? Where is the valuing of what you have? Where is the preciousness that every single child that's being given to you by God? Where is it? Why does it have to take to a tragedy or a catastrophe or a calamity that people are like, oh my gosh, why? You had it before. Why didn't you appreciate it when you had it? Why when it's being taken away from you because God's only choice? And now you're waking up and seeing what you've lost that you can never have back and again sometimes? Why does it have to be taken away from people that people wake up? Why does God have to send signs or people to be his emissaries to say, hello? Did you forget about me? Life is good, but don't forget about me. Especially the sickness today it goes even further. Let me give an example. God wants person A to get a message. He's not getting the message. Time in and time out, time and again, not getting the message. God sends person B to give a wake-up call to person A. If it's loss of wealth, if it's health, could be many different areas. Why today do people like person A, instead of turning to God and saying, I think I have to evaluate my life because I have been not turning to God, I have been not appreciating self-evaluation. Instead, person A, the only thing that he has in his mind is to take revenge against person B. Is that what God wants? Great, so now you just made your situation 1,000,000,000 times worse than before. That wasn't the message. Who's controlling this world? Did you forget who's controlling this world? God is. God only wants the good and the best for us. He gives us our needs, what we need, not what we think we need, what we personally need every single day. Is there even once an appreciation or a thank you to him? Or acknowledging him? We take it for granted that we automatically deserve what we're getting? Says who? Sometimes certain people will say, person B, in my example that we just discussed, they weren't supposed to go that far or did what they did. First, between you and yourself, you have to acknowledge, and people don't. God is in control of this world. Once you have that registered, that God is in control of this world. Maybe God is trying to give me a message. Maybe God is trying to test me, how much I am willing to be faithful to him and pull this through. Or maybe I had to lose money in order to gain lots of money later on. A descent for the sake of a ascent. Only you know the true reason why person B was sent to you, which is all part of self-evaluation. Now, that person that was sent by God, that person will be taken care of by God, because that person didn't have the right to go to that extreme. They were sent to give you a message, not to blow it out of proportion, which usually ends up happening. It might take time, but God is definitely on top of it. You, however, instead of focusing on revenge against that person, you have to focus on your personal reconnection, connecting yourself to God. It's our choice to choose what kind of life do we want to have? What kind of world do we want to have? If God is part of our world, like before the flood. If only people would have appreciated what they have. If we make part of our world in our day-to-day lives today, God is giving us, and we're seeing God, and we're living with God, and life is a Gan Eden down in this world. If we obey God's commandments as He would want us to do, or God forbid, the outcome results of what we received after the flood. It's up to us. Which world are you willing to live in? Just remember, the key to success in your life is first believing in yourself. See you in the next one.